Okay, hey you guys. It's like my second time filming this because it was like so dark because it's raining outside that I decided to redo it because it's a little bit lighter outside. But anyways, hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chanina. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so because it's free. But anyway, so I'm going to be giving you guys a revisit Arise video. I did have a request for this. I made a statement in my last Arise video that anyone who is new to my channel and wasn't aware of what Arise is, comment below, let me know, and I'll do a revisit video for you. So I did have a comment. There was a young lady. She wanted to know what Arise was about, so this video is for her. I can't remember what her name was, but hey girl, hey. Okay, let's talk about Arise. Arise is something that I talk about a lot on this channel. So I do have a whole playlist of work from home videos slash eBay videos that I have created so that you guys can find them more easily. I used to just post the links of the actual video in the description, but I decided to just do a playlist. And so if you click on that link in the description, it'll take you to every video that I've ever made about eBay, every video that I've ever made about Arise. And so if you're looking at the Arise videos, you see that they go way back to almost 3 years ago. That's how long I've been an agent. Arise is one of those things. Oh, a little bit of backstory. Okay, Arise is something that was introduced to me almost well, actually, I've already knew about it, but I didn't really get into it because I was on doing a lot of direct sales companies at the time, you know, jumping from company to company, trying to figure out which one I like the best, and which one I could actually make some money from, and that sort of thing. And that when that kind of played out, I started doing eBay, but then I still needed some income because I was in between jobs. My daughter was too young, daycare is too expensive, and I just needed something that could bring me some steady income because like most moms, when you have a child, you know, you just kind of, I don't want to say there's limitations to what you can do, but there kind of sort of is, you know what I'm saying? We all know that experience as being a mom. You know that sometimes there's some things that you want to do that you can't do because you're thinking about your child and how that's all gonna fit in, you know what I'm saying? So I started working for Arise. I serviced one client before. It was customer service, and I did that client for 2 years. Now I'm doing another client, which is sales, and it's been almost a year since I've started with this client. So I've been with them for a while. I don't have any complaints. Any major complaints. Of course, you know, we all have things that we don't like about stuff, but I try not to complain about them because I try to look at the bigger picture and realize that it's a blessing in itself, because I could just be with no income. I could be still jobless, you know what I'm saying? Or in between jobs, because I was going through a lot of that when I was trying to find income. I would apply for jobs and I would get emails saying that they already filled the position, or I didn't qualify for the position, or I was overqualified for the position, which is kind of crazy. But that's what I was running into a lot. So when I was introduced again to Arise, it was actually through a family member, and he is actually my IBO. And so I've been working under him for almost 3 years now. So Arise is a company that connects you with other companies that are outsourcing, and they're looking for agents that are willing to take inbound calls from home. That's what I do. If you guys haven't, you know, if you haven't followed my channel, then of course you wouldn't know that. But if you've been following me for some time, then you already know that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Of course, that's the gist of what the company is. It's a virtual call center platform that connects you to companies that are looking for agents to take inbound calls. In a nutshell, right? So in order to get started, there is some investment involved. I'm not even gonna say that there isn't, because for one, this is not your typical job opportunity. Okay, it's not anything that you would go and fill out a application for or submit a resume for or anything like that, and then you go to an interview and then they hire you, and then you start your training, you get your pay, you got to put in 2 weeks before you get paid, you know, all that type of stuff. This is different. This is an independent contractor gig. So instead of getting a W-2 at the end of the year for tax time, you get a 1099. Which means you're basically responsible for your own taxes. You have to pay your own taxes at the end of the year when you file, versus if you receive a W-2, the government has already taken taxes out of your check throughout the year. So if you're not owing anybody, student loans, all that type of stuff, then you'll get a refund back. When you pay your taxes, it could be either or. You may get a refund, you may not. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what else you got going on outside of Arise, okay? So you're responsible for your own taxes at the end of the year. You'll receive a 1099, and you would file that just like you would any other type of tax form, and that's the end of that. And you move on with your life, right? There's an opportunity board. So when you first register with the Arise platform, it's gonna ask you, if I can recall correctly, it's gonna ask you, are you signing up as an agent or a company? What that means is, if you don't have an LLC established and you're not looking to basically build your own mini call center from home, then you would sign up as a CSP. So that's basically an agent who works their hours, and their pay comes from whatever IBO that they decided to join under. Okay. Arise only partners with businesses. So the only way that you can become an Arise agent is to sign up under an established business. Okay. The only way you will be signed up directly under Arise is if you have an established business or an established LLC. If you want to go that way and establish your LLC so that you can work with Arise and kind of cut out the middleman and be your own IBO as far as pay and all that stuff, then go to your Secretary of State website, establish an LLC, and then register on the Arise platform that way. Okay. There's some differences between CSPs and IBOs. IBOs are independent business owners. And so CSPs, you're just an agent. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and your pay basically comes from the IBO that you joined up under. Arise issues out the funds to the companies issue out the funds, your pay to you as a CSP. If you're an IBO, your funds come directly from Arise, and then if you don't have anyone under you, then of course you're paying yourself, right? Or they're paying you. If you have other agents that are listed up under you, then of course you distribute the funds to who they go to based on the hours that they work. So yeah, that's a little bit of a difference between IBOs and CSPs. IBOs, 9 times out of 10, they are people who already have an LLC established or is creating one so that they can build a call center of their own and have agents sign up under them. Okay, there is a list on Arise. I think it's called the premium list or platinum list or something like that. These are IBOs that have a gang of agents up under them. And when you get a certain amount of people up under you as an agent, then you appear on that list. Okay. So if you're looking for an IBO, go take a look at that list, contact the IBO, kind of get to know them a little bit, fill them out, that sort of thing, because you have to trust them with your money. Okay. Yeah, you have to trust them with your money. So do your due diligence and do your research first before you just sign up under any IBO, okay? Because I've heard some crazy stories. So, Arise offers flexibility when it comes to scheduling. You can create your own schedule. There's something called a Starmatic software that we use to make our schedule. And when you're in certification class, the instructor goes over all of that with you. I thought about doing a video about Starmatic, but it's just too confusing to tell you guys without you actually seeing what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just leave that to the instructors. As far as revenue for the clients, I know a lot of you probably want to know how much you get paid. It's just going to depend on the client that you actually choose. You can make anywhere from $9 to $12 an hour. When we choose our schedule, we choose them in 30-minute intervals. So how much you get paid is really up to you. You know what I'm saying? As far as what your check is going to be. The amount that you get paid per hour, your IBO, you would go to them and ask them, you know, how much does this client pay per hour or per 30-minute interval? And then they should be able to tell you. They have that information. You won't find... well, I know that when you go on the platform and you click on the client that you're looking to service, a lot of times you're not going to find what the revenue is on there. You're going to have to go to an IBO to find out. Okay. So anyways, after you register, then you will see the opportunity board. The opportunity board is basically all of the clients that are currently looking for agents. The best thing to do to know if the client works for you or if you can work for the client is to hit the info button. It's a green button. You just click on it and it gives you all of the information about that specific client. It tells you about what's to be expected of you, what you will be doing. It also gives you what equipment you'll need. It also tells you when the certification classes are, what times they are, all of that. Okay, so before you get to that part, after you get to that part and you choose a client that you want to service, you go through your PC scan. Arise used to do background checks, but they don't do them anymore. However, there are some clients that do require that you do a drug test. They will send you to the closest lab according to where you live, and you just go take a drug test and that's it. All right. And then you start your certification class. Now, before you start your certification class, make sure that you have the equipment, okay? Because this is where a little bit of investment may come in, because you have to pay for your certification class. That's number one. In the past, when I first started making these videos, I used to get a lot of questions about paying for a certification class and asking, well, why do I have to pay to have a job? Well, because technically you're not paying to have a job. You're an independent contractor. You're paying to know what to do to service people when you're at home, okay? Because you're not going to have somebody walking through helping you, you know, or standing over you or physically training you. Your certification class is done in a virtual classroom with other people that are looking to become agents for that same client, and you're in there for about 2.5 months. It just depends. Some of the classes are a little bit shorter, but you learn everything that you need to know in order to service whatever client that you're going to be working for. So keep that in mind. You know, yeah, you pay for the certification class, but I mean, really, when you think about it, you can't just pull up. Like, let's say eBay. Let's say that they're looking for agents to do customer service, right? Well, yeah, I might be an eBay reseller. However, I don't know the other side to it. So I can't just, they're not going to allow me to just start taking calls just because I say I'm an eBay reseller, you know? They want me to know the inside of eBay so that I can help people like you and me when we call in and need help with something. Okay. And you'd be surprised that when you're calling someplace and you're getting assistance, or you're checking on an account, or you're placing an order, or whatever it is that you may be doing, the person that you're talking to on the phone, you don't know if they're sitting at their house or not. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to have a quiet background. So unless you actually hear people talking in the background, you can confirm at that time that, yeah, they're working in an actual building, a call center with other telephone agents or with other agents. But you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? You really don't know if who you're talking to is sitting at in their living room at a desk. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't anything that's new. It's actually been going on for a very long time. There are other companies that provide this as well, a platform as well for you to take inbound calls. This is just the one that I've been with. I haven't tried any other companies. This is the one that I've been with for a while. So, but yeah. So flexibility for scheduling. I did have somebody comment on another video about taking time off. You do have the opportunity to take time off if you need to. You can make your own schedule. So normally schedules are made a couple weeks in advance. And so if you know that you have something coming up at the end of the month and it's like the middle of the month when you're picking your schedule, don't schedule yourself for that day, or don't schedule yourself for that time of something that you have to take care of, like a doctor's appointment. Of course, for things that we know are coming up. Now, of course, we can't, there are times where things are going to come up that we didn't actually schedule for. So you do have the option to release a time, which I wouldn't recommend because it does negatively impact your numbers or whatever, but that option is there. Or you can swap the interval that you need to swap with somebody else. If they pick it up, then you're no longer responsible for it. If they don't pick it up, then you're still responsible for it. You still either have to work it or go ahead and release it. You know what I mean? But you do have options. If you need to take off like for maternity leave or something, death in the family, then you do have an option to put in a time waiver so that it gets approved, so that you're not dropped from the program for being gone too long. Okay. Because you do want to stay with, in your commitment adherence. There's different things that are going to be required of you to maintain an SOW, which is a statement of work that you receive when you're in certification class. Your IBO signs it. You do have to maintain some certain things depending on the client. Like for example, for me, now I do a client where I'm doing sales, and it's totally different from customer service. Yeah, you still there's the good and the bad when it comes to dealing with people, because not everybody wakes up on the right side of the bed, but that just comes with the territory. But for sales, there's a lot of different numbers that we have to meet every month. Well, not a lot, but to me it's a lot because it's out of my comfort zone. So like your net conversion and stuff like that, and a few other things. But it just depends on the client that you choose, whether it works for you or not, But what else? So yeah, your certification class. So equipment. Okay, so somebody just recently posted under a video asking could they just use a laptop and a cell phone. No. Okay. You definitely need a computer. It can either be a laptop or a desktop. As long as it passes the PC scan, then you good. But you're going to need a landline phone for most of the clients. There's only one client that I know for sure, the client that I used to service for, where you didn't, well, input like this. We started off using a landline phone, but then it switched into using a VoIP headset. But anytime something went wrong with that side of it, then we had to go back to using the phone. So for sure, a landline phone for most of the clients is going to be needed. I definitely would not suggest doing like a Magic Jack or just some random local phone company, a small local phone company. I would go with somebody like Xfinity or AT&T, if you have it in your area, because you're also going to need the internet. And if you can kind of save some money doing like a bundle package, then that's what I would suggest. We have Comcast Xfinity, so I have phone, internet, and cable. As far as the internet, you cannot do it over Wi-Fi because you'll be dealing with a lot of sensitive information and you just can't do it, okay? Um, just, you can't do it. Don't even try. I had a couple of people in my certification class try to do stuff over Wi-Fi, and the instructor could tell that they were on Wi-Fi and they tried to lie about it. But just be honest, you know what I'm saying? Be honest with yourself. Everything that you do, just do it the honest way, because you don't want to set yourself up for some bad karma. Okay? And needless to say, they did not make it all the way through certification. So yeah, you're gonna need to be hardwired in, which just means that you're gonna have an Ethernet cord going straight from your internet modem into your computer. I've got 2 videos on this channel where I did a desk setup type of situation. I just recently did one, so you guys go check that out. I'll put the card at the top. The first one I did kind of ramble on before I actually got into the whole setup. I tend to do that from time to time. When I make these videos, I kind of ramble a little bit because I'm really an introvert. So I'm out of my comfort zone when I make these videos for you guys, okay? But anyway, thank you though for working with me. Yeah, so you're gonna have to be hardwired in, okay? You can't do it over Wi-Fi. I mean, just think of it like this. Would you want somebody taking your personal information that can be shared with the world because you want Wi-Fi? No. You got to be on a secured connection, okay? So that's why you have to be hardwired in. Secure connection. It not only protects you and makes your day flow a little bit easier when you're on, because you don't run into any hiccups or anything like that, but it also protects the person that you're talking to if they're providing you a debit card number or their birthday in their name or something like that. So yeah, you definitely want to do that. Oh, you want to have you want to have an additional monitor, because you're gonna need it, okay? You're gonna need it. It's gonna drive you absolutely crazy to try to do everything on one monitor. Trust you me. With the client that I service now, there are so many different screens that we have to pull up and files and stuff to reference back to answer questions and all of that stuff. There is no way in the world that I could sit here and do all of that from one screen, okay? It'll be hard to do. It'll drive you crazy. So get you another screen. If you got to go to the pawn shop and get it, hey, thrift store, hey, do what you got to do. Monitors generally aren't that much if you're purchasing a used monitor. Like I said, you can go to a pawn shop. I don't know. You could, I'm saying I don't know, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? You can get you a used monitor is the point that I'm trying to make this happen, okay, with your desk setup. And that's pretty much it, other than some extra stuff that you're going to need, like notebooks. I go through these quick, and these are just simple notebooks that I stock up on around back to school time. I get them for like $1, sometimes less than that, depending on what store I'm at and if they're trying to get rid of them because they got too much. Notebooks, you might even need to go ahead and invest in a printer if you don't have one. They're pretty cheap around the holidays and around back to school time. You can get you a printer for like $100. Hell, if you shop at CVS, you may even get you back some extra care bucks, okay? When they do put a printer on sale. Printing paper, pens, pencils, you know, the basic office supply stuff that you're going to need throughout the time that you're servicing. So yeah, there is a little bit of investment. But it's not the end of the world, right? I mean, how many times do we waste money on just stuff, you know? So invest in yourself, especially if you're in between jobs and you need a job and it just ain't working out for you. Nobody's hiring you, you know. You have a strict time frame when you can work, because that's what happened with me. I had a time frame that I could only be able to work, and no one wanted to work with me for that. But it was only because of the school restrictions that, you know, the rules that my daughter's school had as far as pick up, you know, after school pickup off the bus and stuff. So it was hard for me to find a job where I can get off at 2:30 or get off at 2 o'clock in time to be at the bus stop to pick my daughter up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want you to work until 4 or until 5, you know, and then I could have did a night job, but then it would have been the same thing. My husband, he leaves so early in the morning, someone would have had to be here to get Olivia off to school. So you know, so I get it. You know what I mean? I've been in that situation, still in that situation from time to time, where you're trying to do things and it's just not going your way. So you try to find other alternatives. That's how I got into eBay. That's how I got started making these videos. I mean, you know, any avenue that'll bring some type of money, as long as it's making you happy or you're having fun with it, then, you know, I say go for it. But anyway, so yeah, those are like the basics to the Arise platform. We talked about who they are, what you have to go through to become an agent. So basically like your certification class, if you have to take a drug test, you do have to submit ID, notarized ID, you know, so that you can prove you are who you are, you know, that type of thing. You know, all of that. So hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. I really try not to make these Arise videos too long, to be honest, but it's just so much information. It's kind of hard to squeeze it all in like a 10-minute video. You know what I mean? If I did it that way, I would have to do a topic per video. So like one video would have to be talking about flexible scheduling. Another video would have to be talking about certification class. Like, you know, but it's really not a whole lot of, it's straightforward. You get what I'm saying? So the more I do these videos, it may seem like I'm giving you less information, but I'm pretty much just giving it to you in a nutshell. Because it's straightforward to the point. Like there's no extra going on. Okay. So anyways, thank you guys for visiting my channel. I really do hope that this helped somebody, and somebody out there that was just curious about what it was. I hope this was the video that explained all of that to you guys. Again, if you want to see any of my previous work from home videos in regards to Arise, click the playlist down below. It will have every video I've ever posted about Arise. That way you can get a little bit more clarity on it if you need it. And yeah, so until the next time, you guys, I will see you on the next video.